Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem HaRakah the one to see apostles and elders of great Muslim that rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of serving truth, pushing this word to the four corners. Um, yeah, got this, um, this law's coming to effect in the UK, um, basically around age verification, to use any site with any kind of like 18 plus material. So obviously the main kind of push that is under is with pornography, but then it's something that kind of impacts anything. Because for example, it's like on Twitter, if you're kind of browsing through, uh, posts were being categorized as adult, um, even if it was like violence or something else. So it's basically anything with any like adult themes whatsoever can kind of get thrown in there. So it's like even with for example, what's going on in Palestine, or war footage, and natural disasters, things like that. Those things can get thrown in there. Then to well, you know what? Let me read it. Let me read it a bit. So it says it's on Sky News. It says new internet rules come into force. Here's what's changing. Many adult sites currently have simple boxes for users to tick and say they're over 18. That's no longer good enough, according to Ofcom. Um, Ofcom's children codes, a set of regulations designed to protect young people online, means sites out hosting adult content like pornography will need to have highly effective age verification in place. Yeah, social media sites will need to make sure these algorithms aren't pushing harmful content to young people, and if their terms and conditions say those kind of posts aren't allowed, that site will have to make sure their own rules are properly enforced. So yeah, it's like the pornography side of it's whatever. Um, but it's like all social media. Thing is as well is like even with like Twitter, people post everything on there. Because really, it's like I kind of the way I use it is if a disaster happens or a news event happens, you can go on there. You're gonna see the footage quick. Pretty much anything that happens, you go there, you go trending tab, you can see what's happening. But obviously, it's like people post porn and there, whatever. But then that because they do that, now they're gonna have to have the age verification. Then the age verification thing, I'm gonna have the picture here, yeah, where it says what we cannot confirm your age. So I can't remember what I wanted to. I think it was like Twitter or something like that. You go on it, and it'll pop up and it will say either take a picture of like your ID, or you take a selfie, and then AI is meant to. Well, okay, it'll explain it anyway. So I'll read on a bit more. So it says, so what's going to change? The biggest change you'll notice straight away is around age verification. Many adult sites currently have simple boxes for users to tick and say they're over 18. That's no longer good enough, according to Ofcom. Instead, they'll have to properly verify their users' ages before allowing them to see adult content. Users visiting adult websites should be presented with a screen that offers them a few different ways to verify their age. That could be checking credit card details. So it's like, fucking hell, bruv. You know, uh, to basically access these things, you give in like hard line raw details that tie back to you. And the thing with that as well, it's funny. You had like a social media app just get a huge leak. Was like all the users details just got leaked. It was like was it T? It was like a social media site for women to kind of rate men and whatnot, and they just had a huge leak there. So all these different sites having to get your credit card details, your passport, your driving license, your ID, or like a selfie of your face, and that's going to be tied to the IP address you access from and whatnot. You know, your details are going to be tied to it. As far as for the porn sites, it's maybe not as much because it might just be like your what do you call it, your IP address. But then like things like Twitter, your Twitter account is then going to be linked to, okay, well, you might be called you know righteous stand 27 or whatever, but then they're obviously going to have it tied to your details there, and they say, oh, they're not going to keep it. Well, let's see what it says. So it says or by using AI facial age estimation. This is different to AI facial recognition, whereas facial recognition recognizing a face by comparing it to an ID or to a database. Facial age estimation doesn't attempt to identify the individual. Instead, it judges faces based on positions of their features and other aging traits to estimate how old a user is. Facial age estimation is effectively taking a selfie in front of your mobile phone or your laptop, and we capture that image on behalf of the business. Robbie Toombs, the chief executive of age estimation company Yoti, told Sky News. Yeah, I think the company is like there's companies that do this, and they do it like on a mass scale, like they're facilitating that for like various different people around the world. So it's like all the info is going into one spot, which I just think, okay, well, they're just got it's establishing these things so that when it gets to the mark, they have a bunch of different databases, organized layers of society to kind of just be like, okay, well, we got a collection of information here, a collection of information there. So it says facial age estimation is effectively taking a selfie in front of your mobile phone or your laptop, and we capture that image on behalf of the business. Robin Toombs, the chief executive of age estimation company Yoti, told Sky News the AI checks liveness to ensure it isn't a photo of somebody older. Liveness. It isn't a photo of somebody older, and then estimates the age from that selfie, and then returns an over 18 or under 18 message to the business. It then deletes the image. Every company with adult content on its site is obliged to put these rules into place, and Ofcom is willing to be tough with non-compliers. So what did it say earlier? It said that social media sites will need Okay, yeah. So it says the sites will have to make sure their own rules are properly enforced. So that's the thing with all these verification things. Someone's gonna have to check, like, yo, are these men doing the job properly? Which then just leads to, they're gonna have to check, okay, what images are you seeing and how are they compared? So, there to a degree, there'll be databases on these things. And even with these companies, they say one thing, who the fuck knows what they're actually doing, man? Half of these guys are lying pieces of been caught in lying pieces of shit anyway. So whatever they're doing, but then ultimately it's a thing where it's definitely laying that foundation of the beast system, man, where that mark can come in. So it says, and the thing is the justification of no one wants fucking kids that are able to access porn anyway. So no, like, you can't really, it's you can't really argue against it. But then as that's come in, then it's like other sites like Reddit, where even with theirs, like, you go on the news, certain news reports, because of the details of whatever, things can be not marked as like not safe for work because there might be violence or whatever. So then that, if you don't put in your ID or take a selfie, then what do you call it? You can't see those things in the UK, and it's in the UK for now. As far as for the porn thing, I know they've done it. I thought it was only a few states in the US, but I checked. I think it's like 21 at the minute, and then 4 more on the way. So that's kind of been used as the initial kind of leverage to get in. Like, okay, we need online verification, and that's the thing as well with the UK. You've had a big push for time trying to get people's online identity, especially on like Twitter, whatever, tied to the real person. So these things are clearly, establishing those powers. But it's like the first steps. Because what does it say? Willing to be okay. So Ofcom's willing to be tough with non-compliers, and this is and as far as like globally, it's not just like UK websites. It's like all kinds of international sites. That's why it's like Twitter was ready to go with it. Reddit was ready to go. It's like a lot of these sites. They were ready to run with it as soon as it came into law, and as well because you have it being done in Australia as well. But Australia is under 16 or under 15, what, like 15 or below, I think. So they'll probably have a different one for there. But then what? I don't even know what the fuck. So it says, will it actually make a difference? Plenty of people hope so. The government, Ofcom, children's groups and campaigners all banking on these rules to change children's experience. And the reality is like not really. Like, as far as to start the thing with like it's like, why the fuck does a porn industry exist? Well, the reason it exists is because there's a bunch of men out there making a bunch of money off it. It's like, if it wasn't being produced, then even thing is now is you've obviously had like fucking millions, billions of hours of porn produced. That's like, even if you were to stop producing it, it's not like people are gonna stop seeing it. If you didn't make it in the first place, it wouldn't be there for kids to see. And then as well with the internet, the only way to realistically have kids not engage with that shit. The only way realistically to not have kids engage with to engage with it is like, the parents will have to control it. But then the way this generation is a mess. It's what iPad generation, where the kids on the come up now, they're all raised with technology. And then even for me, I remember it's like in school, in fucking primary school, when it was what, 10, 11, you had like the first PCs in there, and then it would restrict what you can access online. And then I found out from then, like, proxy sites where you could go to, where it would block you from going to some site. Then you just, okay, you go on this website, you put it in, then it lets you access it. And that was, bro, I was fucking 10, 11 years old, man. And that was when that technology was new growing up. It was like, I didn't touch a PC till I was like 97, 98. And then, a few years later, able to do those things. So now for these kids that grow up with like iPhones, whatever, they'll have ways around those things. And because it's only in the UK as well, it's like, if you can proxy or whatever to somewhere else, you're good. So it's like, as far as for that angle, it's not going to be very effective. But then it brings in the first set of powers, which then can be expanded over time. Because says, what, we've had unrestricted access to this content for a generation. Wait. We've had unrestricted access to this content for a generation of children, which has had a lot of impacts. It's widely accepted that you have to check your age before you can drink alcohol, so this is a kind of social change as well as a technical one about what we as a society say is normal for our online experience, and I think the protection is really important for children in walks of life. So yeah, Reddit has already begun. Yeah, Reddit says and the thing is as well is like, mature content's sure, but then there's it's not even, it doesn't even have to be a particular, like, it's not just where only porn's being posted. It's anything with any kind of adult material. To access it at all, you have to verify your age, which means you put in your ID or you take a selfie. Then it's like, what the fuck? Where's this shit going? But then it's like I said, it's gonna be in a wider push, because the UK government has been saying, especially with the way that racism amped up in like the last year plus. You've had big push. You had the whole migrant hotel scenarios, and these things happen. that's pushed people to be like, okay, well, these are issues now. They're kind of aware of it. Um, but then they used the most justified kind of angle to get first in, and then they can broaden it and be like, well, we've this has had a positive impact. We can also we protected children. Let's also protect vulnerable groups and blah blah blah. Hmm. The most common way that children come across pornography, at least at first, is they come across it accidentally. Uh, it's funny still because there was that scene in Black Mirror. The one, what was it, Archangel? I think it was Archangel, where the Ute gets it. The mom gets the Ute, the chip in the brain, so that she can't see anything that's like upsetting or violent or whatever, and it just like censors it for her. And then all the kids knew that, and then they were just like, as soon as she got it switched off, then they're like, okay, yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, look, this is murder, this is porn, this is like, the first one might be accidental, but it's like if kids with other kids, then it's just like all kinds of like technology will facilitate all kinds of madness. Back in the day, you used to have to get like a VHS or DVD or a magazine, to see some porno or whatever. But it's like from when it's on technology, unless kids don't have access to that technology, it's a wrap. They're gonna get their hands on it no matter what. That's the world that has been created. So yeah, it's it's that whole protecting the children part is a aspect of it, but in reality, it's setting a precedent to where it's gonna it's gonna push down and escalate to more, man. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. And yeah, that's really what this is. It's that increased escalation where things are getting pushed through, laws are getting pushed through. Like I said, it's the US, it's Australia, it's the UK doing it, and then you'll probably have EU push through a version of it, and then the next stage, because the UK's, or I say the UK, China's really at the forefront, but then the UK's following swiftly behind, because here is where you post things on Twitter, you post things on Facebook, cops come and bang down the door and throw your ass in jail. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom.